Welcome to the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show. In today's episode, I'm honored to have the great Kenny Mellenium, a creative genius, an entrepreneur, and a living legend in his own right. With a career spanning music, business, and art, he's a testament to talent and hard work. Managing diverse ventures from Airbnb hosting to rental properties, car rentals, and a new virtual shoe store, he inspires with his ability to innovate and succeed in multiple domains. His passion for the arts extends beyond music and business. He's an accomplished painter, showcasing boundless creativity through challenges, setbacks, and triumphs. His dedication to pushing boundaries remains constant. Thorn City Podcast Guy, let's go. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show, where we network and build connections through interviews and discussions. This episode is brought to you by GMP Podcast Group. I'm your host, the Thorn City Podcast Guy. Make sure you visit thorncitysyndicate.com, hit that like, share, and subscribe. The new releases, the bonus episodes, and updates. Today I got a special guest in the spotlight. He's a pioneer of the Portland rap game, one of the first names I heard making noise around here, and definitely a living legend in these streets, no doubt. He's what I call a visionary entrepreneur. They say the average millionaire has about 7 streams of income. I ain't quite there, but I'm working on it. That's another reason why I'm starting this podcast. Well, my man right here, he got a few things going on we're going to get into. If you don't know who I'm talking about, it's my guy, the one and only Kenny Mellenium. How you doing, brother?
I'm right. How you doing, man?
I'm doing, man.
Appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir, man. Let me say this. There's sometimes when certain people reach out to you, let you know you're doing something right and you got something going on, man. So I appreciate you reaching out, fam.
No doubt. You know, anytime I see, people from my city putting in work, I like to connect with them.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get up on this mic one time so y'all can get these words.
Yeah.
I'm here for the words.
Yeah, so I'm going to call this episode Business Ventures, walking through diverse entrepreneurial paths. You got the Airbnbs. They call you a Airbnb superhost. What is that?
Okay, so you have to have a certain rating. So when you host people, you get a certain rating, and anywhere it's from like 4.8 to 5 is somewhere, and that's the sweet spot for superhost. And I've actually had the superhost status over the last 3 years. 3 or 4 times, because I actually lost it a couple of times. All it takes is somebody to come with a bad review for whatever reason, and they'll ding you and you'll lose your superhost status. But I'm currently a superhost and have been one for most of the last 3 years. Just puts you in a better position with your properties when you on the rotation and algorithms.
Got you. So you got the property management, you got the shoe stores, you got new music coming, but you're like really an artist, not just a rap artist. You paint these the one of a kind pieces.
I do. It's called life.
Yeah.
I'm a paint this life that we live in for myself a certain way. I've painted myself in the corners before. I painted myself out of corners. I painted myself in the square boxes with bars on the windows, and I painted myself out of them and everywhere around it. But one thing about it is being from Northeast Portland, born and raised, not a transplant, came to the party late, born and raised, and I've seen the whole situation go from what it was to what it ain't, or what it is actually, what it is. But they say that you need to have 7 streams of income, but you probably need to have more, because you can possibly get to 7 streams of income and still not be where you want to be at. And a lot of millionaires say once you get to 7 streams of income, then you should be a millionaire, but that's not always true, because I was studying something and also self-study. When people start businesses, a lot of times they're not really like, people always want to be successful. It's just like being an artist. When a rapper, the first thing a rapper wants to do is go platinum. Like if you ask a rapper, like, what's your ambition? What do you want to do? They want to sell 1 million records, and I've been that artist before. But I had to sit down with somebody who's a prominent person from our town too, that's done a lot of big business, and they don't live in the city, but were born and raised here, and they're doing a lot of big things. They told me it's the thousand. It's like the 1,000 effect. So if you get 1,000 people to support you and they spend $100 with you, you know what I'm saying, over a year, you might get them to spend You really got to get them to spend $8 a month, $8-9. So you get them to spend $9 a month on your product, whatever it is. You're going to end up making a certain amount of money, and that will allow you to continue to be an artist and not have to work a regular job where you have to show up at a 9 to 5. Because showing up for people, and I'm not knocking people that show up and do 9 to 5s or 8 to 4s or 7 to 3s or anything that you choose, but you are up under somebody else's umbrella, and the buck stops past you.
Yep.
And when things go down, you probably, you're not going to be making any decisions, and you can have a successful business, and you could be making, you handle all your bills during the year and you make $30,000 profit. A lot of successful businesses out there make $30,000 after the year. So I would advise people not to quit your job. If you're making 180, like 100, 80, 70, 60 bands a year, and you jump into your entrepreneurial move and you're being successful, but you're only successful about 30,000 above, all your bills and all that stuff. Like, that is success if you have 5 or 6 of those streams coming in at the same time, because 7 times 3 is 21. So if you're doing that, that's totally fine. But if you're just gonna jump out of your 9 to 5 where you're secure at into a situation to be happier but insecure, that's like smiling on a sinking ship.
Man, yeah, that's true facts right there. So yeah, we're gonna get into a little bit of all that, man. But let me I wrote something down with this AI. If you ain't using AI by now, you better get on it, because it's a game changer. But I wrote this little thing down. Tell me what you think. It says, embarking on a journey of entrepreneurship requires a combination of vision, determination, and a passion for success that demands dedication, hard work, and ability to navigate through challenges and uncertainties. The road to success is often filled with setbacks, failures, obstacles, and a never quit mindset is a must to succeed. That sound like you.
Man, it's a struggle. That seems like that's the long definition of the word struggle. That's like longhand for the word struggle, business struggle. Like, if you look up the word business struggle, it sounds like AI didn't put the definition in long wind. One thing about AI is I feel like AI talks a lot. You know what I mean? Like, they to the point, but they overtalk the situation sometimes, and they don't understand the human brain. We don't want to hear all of that when you're struggling. When you're struggling, you just want to hear the results of the plan. So AI is right. It is that, but he just made me want to quit being an entrepreneur already. I've already wanted to quit 3 times, but he's the 4th reason this afternoon that I want to stop being an entrepreneur and maybe go get me an old square job. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to depend.
You don't want to do that.
Never would I do that. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's not easy. A lot of times when you're an entrepreneur, the first couple steps are backwards. That's one thing that people don't understand. Everybody wants to go forward, but people don't understand sometimes not only do you have to take a step back, sometimes you're forced into taking a step back by the things that go on around your business. And dedication isn't always going to be, the end all be all. Work hard isn't always going to be the end all be all. Sometimes it's finances, sometimes it's time, sometimes it's effort, sometimes it's vision, sometimes it's lack of vision, sometimes it's lack of diligence and due diligence in situations. And these things go a long way when you're jumping from one lane to another. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life since the age of 8. I started my first business at the age of 8, at the ripe age of 8.
What was you doing?
Running an illegal bookie in my middle school.
At 8, you was running numbers?
At 8, I was running numbers. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is the thing. Everybody watches these movies, and in all of these movies, especially gangster movies, they talk about how people are doing certain things. And, I believe it, but the truth of the matter is, when you really know it, then you really know what you know. And when I was young, one of the most important things to know about is numbers. Now, I don't mean you need to know all the high-powered numbers, trigonometry, and all these different disciplines of math, but you do need to, like me, you might take me to a college course of math, and I used to be a tutor when I was incarcerated and locked up. I had a 99% graduation rate for my students. It was just this one person that couldn't get past like math. He had a lot of problems from drug use, and he would blow up. I get him ready, took it like 7 times. I passed every other course with him. He just couldn't pass math. But the thing about math is, like, I don't know all the high-powered disciplines, so you might put some paper in front of me and I can't figure that out. But what I can figure out is I can count to 1,000,000. And I can do that twice. And after I do it twice, I can do it 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. So once you figure out how to count in those type of ways, then those denominations, then you're going to be totally fine. And that's basically what all business comes down to is math, because 1 + 1 truly does equal 2, and 3 - 2 is a -1. So if you're doing business and those are your math equations, then you might have a hard time, continue to be an entrepreneur, because it's not easy, and it will not only take your time, your life, but it'll take your finances if you don't, place them in the right areas.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about entrepreneurship is you might work a lot of hours, but it's easy to work a lot of hours when you're working for yourself. Instead of punching that clock and they tell you got to be here at this time, you got to take a break at this time, do this, do that. Man, it's hard to get up and go to work when those are the circumstances. But if you're pushing your own products and services and trying to succeed, man, I put 12, 15, 20 hours in a day, and it don't feel like nothing. It don't feel like work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like you literally can work almost 24 hours straight on some stuff that benefits you, something that you're getting personal equity from. See, that personal equity, that personal blood and that personal sweat equity and that personal financial equity is a different type of equity than, you go to work every single day, or you rent from a landlord, or, from somebody who owns a property. That person is sitting somewhere collecting your personal sweat, blood, and tear equity. And until I bought my first property 2 years ago, and I've been around a lot of money before, but I've never owned a property. My family members own property. My family members own big property out here. And so, but one thing they never really told me was how important it was to actually own property. And so once I purchased my first property, it opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't really know. So over the last 2 years, I've had 2 tenants in one of my properties, the one property that I do own. And I've had somebody that was a 12-month lease, and they broke the lease 5 months in, and that's the things that happen when you're a landlord. I'm what you call the black landlord. You know what I'm saying? So and nothing about what I do is slum. My stuff is high powered. And so they broke the lease after 5 months, and that caused a slight problem over a month period of time, whether it was getting the property ready and cleaned up and ready to be back on the market, in which we had to fire our realtor and hire a different realtor. So you had a lot of things that went on in that situation. We now have a 12-month tenant in there, and everything is going smooth. But these are the differences in equity, because over that 2-year period, we're going to collect pretty much close to 2 years worth of equity that has nothing to do with coming out of our pockets. And when these tenants decide that they want to move out, if that's what they decide to do, we keep their equity. We keep all they sweat. We keep all their hard work. We keep all their blood. It turns into yours. And once I saw that, and I know everybody's smart. I know people might sound and be like, "Oh, you didn't know that? You're dumb." Listen, I understand that. You're always dumb to stuff until you find out. Some people go through life and never find out nothing, and guess what? They just been dumb their whole life. Man. But you only dumb until you ask a question, or until somebody, explains something to you that you didn't know, and you lock it in. And so once I actually had my light bulb moment with equity, it changed the way that I look at everything. And it's like, there's people somewhere just like me. I'm sitting right here on the West Coast. Why people are paying for my future? They're filling up my cup. You know what I mean? Now, it took hard work to get that glass, but they're filling up my cup. I figured out a way how to get my glass filled and not even be nowhere near the glass.
Yeah, that's how you do it, man. Man, that's real shit right there, man. Yeah. So you had to take the show on the road. You moved from Portland to Houston.
Yeah.
How long you been down there, and what all you got going on down there? At least what you can share with the people.
You know what I'm saying? I can share everything. You know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, man, I had to take my show on the road. I just got home from federal prison. I did 90 months in a federal institution. I did 6 years in California and 10 months in Seattle in terribleness. But one thing about it is I went to college in there, and I'm a psych business major. It was like I never went to college before I went to federal prison, and actually my alma mater is Allen Hancock. And the crazy thing is, like, I had got out and I got all A's in there while I was in there. I had 1 A- and all A's. And the thing about it is, I was watching a TV show one day, and it was a basketball show, and the basketball team was in a league, and it was a JUCO. And they went to go play my alma mater, and I had forgot the college I went to because I wasn't really tripping. But I'm sitting there, And I'm like, dang, that's crazy. That's actually my alma mater. And I was sitting with, you know what I'm saying, a female, and she was like, for real? I'm like, yeah, that's where I went to college at. And so, like, people don't understand when you say you went to college exactly. Like, a lot of times you might go to college, but you might not be on a college campus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but that's a sidebar. But, okay, so I took my show on the road. When I got home from, you know, federal prison and got back, I had to figure out what I wanted to do, and I definitely didn't. So in actuality, when I first got home, I moved the first day I got out. The first day I got out of the halfway house, I moved to Vegas. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, or actually I went to Vegas, and then, so like I lived down there for like a year and a half, and I had been living in Vegas for a portion of my life. I've always places out there. I've always lived out there. And then I was deciding that I want to move back out there full time, and so somebody that I knew had said, man, you should come out to Houston and check it out. So I went out there, and then, you know what I'm saying, I liked it. I was out there for like a week and a half, 10 days, and I came back for an event. And after about the second day, I kind of liked it, so I went and got me a spot. Mm-hmm. They had a spot at these condos, and it was like 2 months rent for free. Mm-hmm. So I went ahead and got that, and then moved out there. I moved my operation out there, mm-hmm. and it's been great because it allowed me to do things that I really, not that I couldn't do it, but hadn't really thought of doing it in my home city. Mm-hmm. And so as far as owning property, Airbnbs, I had always talked with people about Airbnbs, and some of my people always attempted to get me into Airbnbs, but I couldn't grasp exactly what I needed to do because it was explained to me in a way that I couldn't get past. But once I figured it out, because there's a lot of ways to do things, and people aren't always going to tell you there's 10 ways to do something. They're going to explain it in the way that they understand it, which might be singular to them, and you might not understand their singular explanation of an understanding that they see. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like when you see people, like when people say, would you like 50,000 or would you like to go out to eat with Jay-Z and have a conversation with him? Mm. My answer is give me the 50 bands and I'll catch up with him, catch up with that nigga later. You know what I'm saying? Because I already been around Jay-Z before, you know what I'm saying? And nigga, we didn't talk. We nodded heads at each other and we kept it pushing. Mm-hmm. It was no conversation. It was a quick nod and the nigga looked down and had 5 security guards with him and I kept it pushing. Yeah. So that was the extent of our communication. So what is he going to tell me in an hour of time? Because anything that he tells me is from his point of view and his path. I obviously cannot jump on his path because his path is already set, number one. Number two, his path took him a certain way to get to his results. Mm-hmm. I definitely don't got that path. You can tell because I'm sitting here talking to you and he's sitting somewhere else talking about something else. That's just obvious. Mm-hmm. Also, there's a few zeros difference in our probably bank accounts at this exact moment. Yeah. So that being said, there's a lot of great people with a few less zeros on their bank accounts than whoever that got zeros on them. So don't always think because you're not in position that you're not of greatness. Sometimes you ain't added the zeros you need to get you in that category. But zeros are easy to add to any situation. They're also easy to minus. So if you catch somebody being a zero around you, minus them from your program.
Yeah, I heard that.
You know, so back on it. So I moved out to Houston, and I ended up getting into business with my business partner, and we started doing Airbnbs, and I build, me and my business partner, we have a company, it's called Urban Lux. It's we build Airbnbs from the ground up. I've had 12 properties in 3 years. We've had 12 properties in 3 years. And we just got our first client on the 18th of last month for property management to manage other people's Airbnbs. And we also just started consults. We're starting a 30-minute free consultation with our company Urban Lux for, you know, and then after that there'll be paid consultation, but the first one will be 30 minutes and it'll be free. Nice,
man. That's what I'm talking about, man. I love seeing you doing it big. Like I said, I grew up hearing about you, and I finally got to meet you with my boy. But we gonna get into that a little bit later. We gonna take a break right now. I'm gonna from my sponsor GMP Podcast Group. And then we're going to come back and we're going to touch on the creative process in your artistries. Discover GMP Podcast Group, located at 2406 East Burnside Street in Portland, Oregon, offering a range of podcasting packages to suit your needs. Starting at just $49 an hour for your basic setup, featuring the Rodecaster Pro audio console and SM7B microphones, as well as options complete with a camera operator and audio engineer expertise. Elevate your podcast with multi-camera recording, plus we capture behind-the-scenes shots within the studio. Visit us at www.gmpodcastgroup.com and let GMP Podcast Group be where your podcasting journey begins.
Cause this syndicate lyricist exists. Don't blink one eye, baby, you just might miss history in the making from the making of this. Third, I guess it's welcome back to these words. So I'ma come well like welcome backwards for sure.
Hey, welcome back to the Thorn City Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Thorn City Podcast Guy. I got my guy Mellenium in the building. Man, I'm loving it, bro. I appreciate you coming through on your boy.
No problem.
So yeah, let's get to your music first, because that's originally how I met you back in the day, way back in the day with my boy Third Twin. He went by Gemini the Third Twin back in the day.
Right.
How old do you think Third was when you first met him? Was he one of the first young rappers around here? Actually, moving around with people.
No, but I was a young rapper, so.
Well, he is younger than you, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so he can't be one of the first because I was already.
No, I'm
here.
saying.
But listen. The thing about it is,
let's say it like this: young as you're you.
Well, see, this is the thing.
The next under you.
I've seen all the artists. Like I'm the real we the first wave of real. Like I'm not taking nothing from the U Crew. I'm not taking nothing from none of the people. Like they went platinum. I'm not taking nothing from nothing, but. When I came and when we came with the streets. Like we came. We was the first. You can go back. Like I'm the first one to ever talk about spaceships and bitches and all the stuff that's the real life stuff. I'm like the first one. You can go back and listen to the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Break. Going to Vegas and doing all the things, and it's official. Like I know people might see it. No, I'm not, bro. You can go check it. I got everything on dates. I got receipts. It ain't nobody before me talking to spaceships and talking about the situations. It ain't nobody before me. These is facts. As far as like the young cats that was younger than me,
after you. So y'all started it. Who was the next group that come after y'all?
Oh man, it was a lot of motherfuckers, man. Yeah. The crazy thing about music is, and I always say this, I've seen so many artists come and go. Because I've been here the whole time. Even when I was in a cage, I was here. My name is locked in. Like I've seen so many artists that was supposed to be the next this or better than me or better than other artists that I know that was in position and working hard, because you only get in position from working. You can't just get a position if you ain't working, if you're not putting in no work, if you ain't in knocking out songs back to back. If people don't respect your words, like people don't gotta like your music, but when you speak your words, they gotta know the impact of them. And like for me, like I don't know no rappers that come with heavier impact. I've never been in a room with artists, and I don't care who they are, that say the words how I say the words, and I don't take anything from anybody else, but it's just more about me. And if anybody feels anything about what I say, we can go in the and knock it out. I've never been on a song and felt like I didn't kill everybody on it, and I've been on the song with everybody, and I work faster than people. But as far as like the see, that's that rapper shit, man. But see, the thing, like I tell people, one time somebody asked me, they said, you the rapper that's from the streets, right? I said, nah, nigga, I'm from the streets and I rap a little bit sometimes, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to realize, like, difference. If you rap, the only thing music can do is take you up out of a situation. Or now you can get killed from saying the wrong things, you know what I'm saying? But it's always been like that, but now it's like it's hyper now. So it's like music is supposed to be used as a tool to get you out of situations, to build things. So that's all music can really do. Now, music, because I've done music, that's why I own properties in Houston. That's why I do Airbnbs. This is the linchpin for everything I do. So if somebody says, well, yeah, bro, like you never went platinum or gold, I know. But this is the thing. We haven't had that many artists from our city do that, number one. Number two, you know what I'm saying? It's not about going platinum and gold. It's about going platinum and gold in life. And if you're not finna go platinum and gold in life, then you ain't nothing but a brick. You know what I'm saying? You might attain one hit wonder status, but one thing about music is, in anything else you do, once you are successful at it, you have to repeat what you did. If you don't repeat what you did, you won't be paid for it, because people are already surprised 9 times out of 10 when you do something that has the level of getting paid, you know what I'm saying, for it. So once you attain that level where you show up and people pay you to be there, you have to show up every time and get paid to be there. Otherwise, they're going to pay somebody else to be there. And being mediocre in a world of greatness just doesn't get you paidness. So
yeah, hey man, I heard that. Man, yeah, that's
but
crazy.
like I say, so yeah, he's one of the rappers that was younger. But like I say, like it's literally was a million rappers from our city.
Everybody became a rapper at the same time.
It was like the dope game. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when we used to hustle and we'd be like, man, everybody is like hustling, bro. Like what is this? And then when we started doing music, really doing music, because I've been doing music since I was like 8, also like 10. You know what I'm saying? Just at friends' house spending the night, just rapping all night. You know what I'm saying? And so like when we turned this into getting paid for it, then it turned into a different ballgame because it was a job, it was work. You had to show up and be there, and not only did you have to show up on time, you had to show up and you had to be him. You couldn't just be mediocre. They wasn't calling mediocre people to show up to places. You know, you don't be mediocre and be out in LA and doing your thing and moving around and being on tour. Like it's different now. You can pay your way in. Before you had to play your way in.
Yeah, no,
you know
it was different back then. You actually had to be able to rap. You know what I'm saying? There had to be some substance and some creativity, and you can't just get on. Yeah, you can't just get on the mic and say whatever, and somebody and put it on the internet, and somebody gonna buy into it. You actually had to be with it. So yeah, tell me about the Houston scene out there. What's going on in Houston?
Houston is like the 5th biggest city in America. So when I went out there, like, you know, it's a lot of black people out there. A lot of the jobs and things that other races do in our city, black people do there. And we got our own things there. So we don't have to go places and we don't have to feel like, you know, we're not wanted when they playing our music in the club. You know what I'm saying? But they don't really want us in the club. You know what I'm saying? It's like you play all this rap music, but you don't want the black people in the club. You just want what you want in there, and that's cool. But the thing about it is, if you take away rap and you take away the culture and you take away the understanding and you take all these things away, the world is going to be vanilla. And vanilla is cool, but the thing about it is, you know, any flavor that really is flavored, you got to put some on top of it. And I feel like Houston is the type of place where you can go there and be successful amongst your people. And you don't even have to be around all your people. You can just go there and it's just enough people for you to be around for you to be successful, and you can catch the vibe, you can catch the business, you can just look at it and see opportunity. Now, the minimum wage out there is like $7.75 or something.
Is it that low?
So I wouldn't say, hey, man. That's why I told you I can't work no square. I can't work no square Billy. They handing out $7.75. See, I hire and fire people for a living, and I pay people like 20-something. Like, let me see. I basically pay people like somewhere around between $40 and $50 an hour for some of the jobs that I hire people for. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to understand, they offering $7.50 an hour. I'm offering $40 an hour, $50 an hour sometimes. I hires and fires.
Everybody want to be a boss. They talking about they a boss, but they don't boss nobody.
Nah, listen.
Now that's a boss.
Hey, you know the thing about it is, being a boss ain't even about bossing nobody. The truth about being a boss is when you pay bills.
Pay bills, yeah.
The boss always is responsible for the bills. So when you go to work,
for everything,
you show up and do one thing. You do your job, you leave, they cut you a check. That's the end of it. They better not be calling you on your day off. But when you the boss, you don't get no day off. You got to cut checks. You got to figure out how to pay people. You got to make sure if you serving medical that the medical is right. You got to make sure everything is running, and you dang near be like responsible for people's decisions and their life when they work for you. And like I tell people, like I've been hiring people since I was 14 to work for me. I used to hire people on the block. It's called rushers. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give them a wake up and they gonna bring me back 100. But if you don't know the conversation, I'm just talking. You probably don't know what I'm talking about. All you real dudes out there don't even know what I said. Huh?
They don't got no clue.
No clue. You know what I'm saying? It's all right though, because when you don't have clues, you're going to be clueless.
Yeah, very, very clueless. So I'm going to have to say I was pleasantly surprised when I seen you working on your art pieces, these one-of-a-kind art pieces. I want to know a little bit about your art process. Is there any correlation between creating the art and creating music art?
No, I don't think so. I think that like art is effort. I think that I could probably break art down to one thing, and it's probably effort. Because, and obviously a gift times effort. Like, you have to have a gift for art. You know what I'm saying? But as we see, you never know what a true gift is, because just how we was talking about the music, I'd be happy, even like these young cats that, you know what I'm saying, people say, well, they really ain't talking about nothing, and they saying the same thing over and over again. It's kind of like when an athlete goes to the league, right? And they give him 100 M's, and then he gets hurt, you know what I mean? And then he can't never play for you, like Greg Oden. He came to Portland, and we've had a few of these incidents, but so have other teams.
Yeah.
They get these people 100 plus M's, and he don't play no games for you, and then everybody's mad at him, and they calling him a bum, and they doing all this. But what you got to realize is this: I'd be happy. I don't really have no problem when an athlete gets hurt and can't play, because he's given his whole life and dedicated his life since the age of probably like 8 to this one sport, and he's made it to the NBA or the NFL, and then an injury happens. I'd be happy when they keep the money, because people be like, oh, well, they stole money. Listen, man, if you understand the concept, you done worked your whole life to get to this point. You need compensation. There needs to be some insurance once you dedicate yourself to anything, that you going to prosper from it.
Man.
You don't want to get chewed up.
Man, you don't think they want to play? You think they ain't more hurt than the people that's mad at you for being hurt?
Listen, they want to play worse than anything. A lot of these people to trade their mama in so they could play, not so you could say that they playing good, but so that they could feel good inside, man. When you struggle, when you are trying to put yourself in position, and you take a step forward or 2-3 steps forwards in an avalanche, and you end up in an avalanche, and you up under 17 steps in reverse. Hey, listen, that's not easy, and people don't understand. Like, when you put your all into something and it doesn't come out, or you don't get the result like you want, there's a lot of stuff. There's anxiety that goes into that. There's failure. There's financial failure. There's mental failure. A lot of times, failure in business is the first sign to a failure in your relationship, whether it's a marriage or a relationship just with a person. If you failing financially, most likely you're going to end up failing in your relationships, not just, the relationship with your significant other, your woman, or your woman with your husband, but you're going to fail in relationships in life, because it's hard to have a good time and be yourself and be comfortable around people when you failing financially. Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough. Yeah. You got to worry about how you going to make your next move, and you always worried about how the bill going to get paid, and so, that can get rough.
So the art, basically, about 1.5 years ago, it's kind of like coming up out the end of the pandemic. I was kind of bored, you be in the house, but I never was really in the house. Like in Houston, we never closed down. So like the strip clubs was open, we out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we in there with masks on, but we out in the strip clubs, everything open. Then white people, they not finna let you. The strip clubs, what they did is they made sure that they had their restaurant credentials in order, because you couldn't shut down a restaurant out there because it was an essential. So, you know what I'm saying, they had the strip clubs open because they was serving food, and that made the location an essential. And if it's an essential, you know what I'm saying, then people can work, and they work in there, and the strippers were actually under the waitress, so, you know what I'm saying, and food servers.
That's
you
essential. That sounds essential to me.
But that sounds essential to me. You know what I'm saying? It's very essential to me. You know what I'm saying? But everybody else didn't think so, but I did. So I started one day. I always been artistic, and I was bored. And one of my chicks, she was like, she's a painter, so she was like, hey, we should go just like do some painting stuff. So we went to Dollar Tree, and I bought 10 frames about that big, 10 square frames about that big, and got some paint, and just started painting. Painted 3 or 4 of them, and then moved up to a bigger frame, and then people started like saying stuff about it. And then just like and I've only been painting for like 1.5 years, in which real paint time is probably like 4 or 5 months of actual real paint time. So I just started painting, and people started saying stuff to me about it. And then I started hanging my stuff up in my Airbnbs, because I wanted to give them different looks. And it was like, I could give them stuff, like whatever furniture we get, I could match the decor and make it and enrich the situation. And then I started selling my stuff through my Airbnbs, making it available through Airbnb. And I started doing bigger pieces, and all of my homes have my pieces in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, like even when we rented our house out to the tenant, he actually bought one of the paintings off the wall when he moved in. So, the painting stuff just came about. And it's not even all painting; it's creative stuff, because I put like lights on stuff. I bust stuff down. I do a lot of stuff that you can't get in, and I've been blessed to have my pieces. I guess respected by people that like enjoy art. I've had people tell me that the pieces look better than stuffs, and in museums where people go across the world. And then I've also seen a lot of stuff that I've really liked that was super similar to my stuff, and it's all in the eye of the beholder.
That's
people
it.
like your stuff and they want to buy it or they don't, and what I'm saying, like, you can't, like, I'm not, like, my stuff is expensive, so there's no need to lie about you liking it. Because it's gonna cost you to like it. You either gonna like it and you gonna pay for it, or you gonna lie about liking it, and when it's time to pay for it, you ain't gonna have the money. You know what I'm saying? So we not gonna do no lying about nothing. You know what I mean? But that's basically how my painting came into play. And it's creativity is like, it's just like, you just do it.
Just do it.
You just do it. Like, you either do it or you don't, and you either can or you can't.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people can't that think they can, and a lot of people attempt to do it when they just shouldn't probably do it. But that's my opinion. They probably have that opinion about me.
Man. Well, man, I'm loving the Spotlight Show, man. We're gonna take one more break, and we're gonna get some of this new music in here. We're gonna get the Thorn City Syndicate management ad, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna wrap this show up. We're gonna talk about your last venture with the shoes, anything else got going on, and one more thing I gotta know a little bit about is the Church of Mellenium. I gotta know what's the church. What's the message to the church, to the people,
to the congregation. Man, you know what I'm saying?
So we be right back. Introducing Thorn City Syndicate Management, your comprehensive solution to brand management, social media, and digital content distribution, and pioneering podcast production. From shaping engaging content that resonates with your audience to amplifying your brand's reach through podcasting. We're your partners in driving success. Teaming up with GMP Podcast Group, we offer free strategy sessions and leverage our recording studio and personalized strategies to establish an online presence. Your brand's journey to the start starts with Thorn City Syndicate, where innovation meets results. Contact us at www.thorncitysyndicate.com to embark on the path of transforming your brand's future. So we got the extended break. We're gonna get into some new music from Mellenium. What song we got coming up?
This will be the first single off the new album. It's called Right Now, produced by Crispy Hendrix, the producer of, you know what I'm saying, the joint. He just had a fresh producer credit on 2 Chainz album. So, you know what I'm saying?
I seen that.
Some of that good. I had to check the numbers and see where we at. He should be a gold producer at the very least, messing with 2 Chainz. But he had that joint with 2 Chainz and Sway Lee on there. That was a
I heard that. That was a joint. And I'm not even a big music. I don't really listen to their music a lot, but I liked that joint.
Yeah, that was a good joint. I liked it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So go on and bring it on for me.
It's heavy in the streets, so I keep me at peace right now. Keeps me at peace right now. Deep in these streets right now. Yeah. It's heavy in these streets, so I keep me in peace right now. 2 or 3 freaks right now. We gon' get this money right now. Deep in these streets right now. A few real niggas, but it's mostly imposters. Sitting at the table eating steak with some lobsters. Fucking with these streets, put your life in a toss-up. Say it, I display it, nigga, Marcialaga. Stay up in your business, watch your 6 and be careful. Better be on Swift, yeah, them bullets be airful. I be dipped in bitches like the freshest apparels. And suckers in these streets be like fishes in barrels. Danger where I'm staying when it's about your dineros. Carburetor open gas and niggas Valeros. Fucking with the Mex, come and get your rancheros. Sitting in Camaro, getting top from her arrow. I don't spare no spins like my first name is Arrow. Top rope a nigga off, Jose Guerrero. Cause we gon' get this understanding straighter than arrows. And you can do the running man from round me dineros. It's heavy in the streets, so I keep me at peace right now. Keeps me at peace right now. Deep in these streets right now. Yeah. It's heavy in these streets, so I keep me in peace right now.
Right now. Yes,
right
sir.
now.
That's a joint.
Best time is right now. Whatever you doing, business, you know what I'm saying, winning, personal. Only thing you don't want to do right now is lose.
Don't lose.
Just don't lose right now. Everything else, that song gonna get you where you want to be right now. You feeling good right now.
Yeah.
You getting money right now. You're eating right now. You're losing. You better put a postponement on that bad boy, because if you're doing that right now, it's probably, it's all bad right now.
Man. Welcome back to the Spotlight Show. That was some new music from the Mellenium. Man, that was a joint. I like that joint, man. So, man, I've been appreciating this talk with you. I done learned a few things. That's what it's about, man. Learning in life. You live and you learn. When you stop learning, you're in trouble.
Living. You're just going to stop living.
You're in trouble. Yeah. So it sounds like you got hard work, determination, and perseverance. It sounds like the journey you've been on, man. And I'm really, really proud to see you living your best life. You know what I'm saying? Because
I done lived my worst before.
I know your story, so I know where you came from and where you went to and where you had to go back and did it again. Sometimes you got to start over to get where you want to get to.
Man, you got to go through the fire, to get to the fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? You can't cook no meal without no fire.
Yeah. So your latest venture, the shoe store. What's the shoe store called and where's it located?
Basically, I have a virtual store, and it's called 713 Air. You can get on there and get we make sure that I basically started because when I was a kid I didn't have no Nikes. You know what I'm saying? Like I had one pair of J's. I had like the all white with the purple J's or something. You know what I'm saying? I had to and I got them from the Nike store in MLK, and they came in a white box that said blemished. So like if I got good grades, my mom said she'll take me to get a pair. Now, I never had a pair of Nikes. Before that, I had all types of stuff. I had Likes. I had, like some other okay brands of shoes, some Payless joints, some volumes. Like, like I had the whole set. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is, like, I went to go get some Nikes one day, and, like, it wasn't none in there on my size, right? And I don't know what size I wore. I think I wore, like, an 8 at the time. And so, like I was so scared that if I left out that store, I wouldn't get none. And I messed around and picked the all white with the purple swoosh. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a size 9. And I told my mom it fit me because I just wanted them. And then like a week later, my shoes looked like the Iron Sheik. Them joints had like curled up and folded up and got creased up because they was too big for me. You know what I'm saying? But so I really started because I know a lot of young kids and a lot of women struggle. So like basically I try to make sure that they get, what they need, and I make sure that people get, certain good deals and prices. I'm not even about gouging people out. Like there's going to be opportunities for you to get your money in anything you do. But in this situation, I try to make sure I'm fair with people and give them, shoes and apparel and products that, they can need and use and want.
Nice. Yeah, that's tight. Oh man. So we wrapping it up. I want to encourage the listeners to explore your passion and pursue your dreams in your own unique way, and never stop learning. And you stay on your journey, on your path, and eventually you'll get there. Don't give up, because it's hard out here. It's tough. A lot of people give up before the fruits of the labor pay off. And so just don't be one of those people, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you coming through, man, sharing your stories and insights, man. Where can people find you and get involved with any of your many endeavors?
If you're looking for me, you can find me on IG at I Am Mellenium. That's IAM MELLENIUM. You can get on my other joint, 713 Air, 713_AIR. I'm not hard to find. All you gotta do is Google me. You can Google Kenny Mack, and you're gonna find out all the stuff that you probably want to know and that you don't want to know.
Yeah. Oh, one last question.
I know it's the one last question.
I forgot. I totally forgot. I gotta know about the church, man. What's the church's message? The Church of Mellenium. I've been hearing about it for years now.
At this point, it's actually been around for a little bit now. It's like it's kind of like maybe like the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? Like people, if you don't know what the Illuminati is, then and you have to have a deep understanding where it came from. Like I've studied, where these groups came from. These groups are succubus types groups. They get in and they attach themselves to you. So and then they perform, under your banner, but that's for later. You guys go do that. But I think like the Church of Mellenium is kind of like it's kind of like a cult, really. But see, this is the thing though. Like a lot of people don't understand. Like when you hear the word cult, you think of these certain types of people. But if you go in the dictionary and you read the word cult, by definition, it's not evil. It's not bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I guess people have made, sus decisions that have been the heads of certain cults, and they ended up getting recognized. But there's a lot of cults that you never even knew existed that aren't, negative. And so, like, I think, like, maybe the Church of Mellenium is, like, it's probably maybe like that. It's basically like it's a place where certain people come to learn understanding and to better themselves. It's kind of like, have you ever seen, you went to the mall before and you seen Build-A-Bear? Okay, now let me mind you, like there's not really, there's like no men are, I'm the only man allowed in the actual Church of Mellenium.
Okay.
It's my followers or my congregation is based in females. Now, this being said, I have a lot. One day I had somebody hit me and they said, "Hey, bro, how can I be a member of the church?" And I told him, I said, well, the truth of the matter is men can follow, the ideologies and they can follow the words. But, the basis for the church is it's female based. So it's like you really can't come to the compound with all the women there and meet. Like, it's not really room for you know what I'm saying? Like, even the people that, like, like make the beds and stuff and do all the stuff, those are all females. So, like, I don't need no dudes to take the trash out of the church for me. You got to come in and take it out. So it's like, I don't need that. But I tell people they can be, like, members in understanding and members and followers. But one thing about it is, and this is not, I know some people might think that I'm talking about something that might have to do with polygamy, but I'm not. So it's basically like, I'm the type of person that I feel like you should have enough in this world of everything that you need. Wants and needs are different. You should handle your needs before you handle your wants. So like me, I'm the type of person where I need to interface with a lot of information. I need to be connected to information. I need to be connected with people that want to see me have information and want to see me win. So like the people that are in the church, these are people that the congregation that wants to see me win. Just like when you go to a church and the pastor's in the front and everybody's in there and they cheering and they talking in tongues. Like that's what I need too, because that type of energy is the type of energy that you see puts people in understandings. And like the more people that you have, skilled people that you have, that follow your word and follow your ideologies and the way that you think, it's going to be a whole lot easier to get to the positions that you want to in life. Now, there's a lot, anybody can have a church, but it's the quality of your congregation. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people they have subpar qualities. Their congregation is of subpar quality. And I don't offer subpar quality in anything I do. And I can't accept subpar in anything I do, because I've been to the harshest environments in this world, places that nobody else could survive in, and I came back and survived in them. So because I came from those places and survived in those places of coldness and darkness and just went on these sabbaticals and these journeys to places that people would never go, I deserve to be treated in a certain way. I deserve to have as much information as I can possibly get from as many intelligent people, especially intelligent women. Because if you left the world to women right now, this would be a better place. It's already been left to us, and look what we've done. We've destroyed this place. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and let the females take over, as long as we ain't going into slavery. A lot of their ideologies will put us in a better position and place us in a position to succeed without all the war and harshness all the time. It's okay to laugh and smile and enjoy yourself. When I'm in the church, I like to enjoy myself and smile. A lot of times when I'm in the outside world, like, I don't get to smile, because you have to, when you start smiling, people think you're funny. And when they think you're funny, they try you. When they try you, have to show people that you're not funny. And I like to enjoy myself. I like to actually smile and have a good time. But, that's hard to do sometimes. So that's why the compound is only for, certain types of members only.
Gotcha.
It's like that jacket, members only.
There you go. And that's the Church of Mellenium, straight from the horse's mouth.
That's the church, you know what I'm saying?
Well, man, thank y'all for joining us. Explore the power of networking and find inspiration by following me at Thorn City Podcast Guy for updates, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, and join the conversation. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes of Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show as we continue to highlight individuals, businesses, and brands. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, follow Thorn City Syndicate, the management company, and GMP Podcast Group, the podcast production company as well. Make sure you drop by www.thorncitysyndicate.com to schedule your free strategy session. Thorn City Podcast Guy, holla at your boy. Appreciate you, brother.
Word up. When you see that, that's the church, man. You see that? That's the church right there. Know the church is around when you see that.
Yes, sir.
What man? What power? Hoodoo.
I appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show, where we network and build connections, interviews, and discussions. Until next time, I like your boy, Thorn City Podcast Guy. I'm out.
You remind me of a man.